Hey everyone, Nick Taylor here from Menajerie Studio, and today we're going to talk about one of the most overlooked things in filmmaking, and that is lighting. Let's check it out. So one important point, this video is not sponsored by Aperture, and all the equipment that you see today was purchased with our own money. So lighting is probably one of the most crucial aspects to filmmaking. You could have the best camera and a great lens and even great audio, but if your lighting is not on point, your audience is going to notice. So in our filmmaking careers, we've used just about every light you can think of, from fluorescent tube lights to LED panels to hot tungsten lights. And now finally, I think we've found probably the best all-around solution for lighting in the filmmaking world, and that is these Aputure lights. This one specifically is the Aputure 120d Mark II. Now, these Lightstorm series from Aperture are what's called chip on board, or COB LED lights. So if you look at the actual element, you can see that it's just a single chip on board light. So the reason why this is such a revolution in lighting is that it's giving you a single source of light. The problem with LED panels is you usually have a lot of different points of light, and the best you can hope for is just a wash of light on your subject. Might work well for a fill, but if you want a really tight key or you want something that you can modify easily, you're gonna want a single point of light. Now, with that being said, this light can be as soft as you want it and diffused as you'd like. Our key light right now is an Aperture light that is being diffused through a softbox. So one of the advantages to these chip-on-board style lights is that you can use a variety of modifiers to change the shape of the light that you're working with. To start, it comes with a reflector disc, which is a pretty simple modifier. This gives you a relatively narrow beam of light to work with, definitely something more of a hard light. It's what we're using on the light behind us for the rim light. In a future video, we'll go over all the different modifiers that are offered by Aperture that are all priced reasonably well and offer a quality for that price. So some of the other features of these lights that I think set it apart from a lot of the different offerings in this price range is the build quality of the different components. So first of all of the connections are sturdy, thick cables that are part of a locking mechanism. There's actually a Nutric connector for the power and a nice long cable, so you don't need to carry around tons of extension cords for these lights. And then a DMX style cable that goes from the box itself to the light. So that's something else that separates this, is it's actually broken into two components. You've got this light component up top that's relatively lightweight, probably less than 5 pounds, that you can put up on a standard light stand. So the other component is this power box here that uses either a standard power cord here, or you can power it using a V-mount battery. You can control this light from this interface or using the 2.4 gigahertz wireless adapter here. You're going to be able to use a remote such as this to power these lights. So the other thing that Aperture does well is make nice cases for all of their equipment. This is a very sturdy fabric case that on the inside has padding and pockets for all the different components. You can see inside, it comes with this pretty sturdy foam interior that's soft and protects all the different components of the light. There's lots of zipper pouches for any different accessories you might have. It's nice that they did not skimp on the cases. So probably the most important thing about these lights is the color accuracy. And that's the CRI that you usually see on lights to give you an idea of how accurate they are, how close they are to the light from the sun. The reason that the accuracy of the color of the light coming out of the lens is so important is that it affects the colors that you see on camera. The colors that you're seeing are simply the reflected light. So you want to make sure that that light source is accurate. So your skin tones look good and You don't get that weird color cast that, a lot of people attribute to, say, fluorescent lighting. The other thing that I like about these lights is the build quality is great. All of this is metal. The Aputure 120d Mark II has this handbrake, which is super convenient for moving this up and down in a tilting position and then locking it where you need to. What these lights do particularly well is kind of bridge that gap between professional quality but approachable pricing. These lights are the perfect addition to your lighting arsenal, something you can purchase and you're gonna be able to get your value out of it. The Aputure 120d Mark II, as of this recording, retails for, I believe, around $740 to $750 US. Now that seems like a lot when you're looking at some cheaper light panels, but they're really not in the same league. This is a professional light, but it's in a prosumer cost range. So as you can tell, I am a pretty big fan of Aputure and pretty much any product they put out. From the very first light that they've built to where they're at now with the newly released Aperture 300X, which I'm very excited to get my hands on eventually. They've listened to their customers and they've changed the products in ways that make sense and make them easier to use and more affordable for all independent filmmakers out there. Of course, with all these videos, I will put links in the description to purchase the different things that we talked about. If you use our links, we earn a small commission, helps us keep these videos coming out. If you guys like these videos, please give us a thumbs up. It really helps our channel. Make sure to also subscribe and hit that bell so you get notified when we do more videos. If you guys have any comments about what you use for lighting or maybe your opinions on Aputure's line of products, feel free to leave those down in the comments. Also, any suggestions for future videos that you'd like to see. Once again, I'm Nick Taylor with the Menajerie Studio. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you in the next video.